I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. Today I'm back with another mega review for you all. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite movies of all time, The Punisher from 2004. I'm going to go over my general thoughts of the movie. There might be some slight spoilers here. If you've never seen the movie before or don't know much about the Punisher comics, you have been warned. But I'm going to give you all the good, the bad, and my recommendation on whether you should go back and see this one or not. So stick around towards the end of the video for that recommendation. Also, for my physical media collectors out there, I'll be showing off the new Lionsgate 4K Steelbook of The Punisher I just picked up, going over the visual, audio quality, and the special features it contains. So stick around to the end of the video for that unboxing. But that's not all. And as a special bonus for those who stick through the entire video, I'm going to be showing off my entire Punisher collection. I'm going to be showing you off a Punisher plush. I'm going to be showing you off a bunch of Punisher different pops I have. Also, a very nice special artwork piece I will be showing as well. So stay through the entire video to see that entire Punisher collection. But without further ado, let's get started!
It's not vengeance. No, it's not vengeance. It's punishment.
Now to get into the good of the movie first. So The Punisher from 2004 is absolutely awesome, and it starts with a great group of characters. Thomas Jane playing Frank Castle and The Punisher, to me, is the best Punisher we have ever gotten. And what's brilliant about this movie is it sets us up first with caring about the Frank Castle character. We get to connect to Frank Castle as a family man, someone who was a cop just carrying out missions, but now he wants to retire, move on, and enjoy time with his wife and kid. And so we deeply care about Frank Castle here at the beginning of the movie. But then, unfortunately, his family is taken out by the mob. And it is just a brutal scene to see how that all goes down. But it's crucial to let us know that now everyone in Frank Castle's family is gone. Even Frank Castle himself says that he is no longer there. He passed with his family. And that only exists now is the Punisher. And so this is just such a critical part of the movie to now see that Punisher is no longer just a human character. He is a force of nature. And so now we get to see the Punisher carry out his tactical plan. And I like how they do this throughout this entire movie. First, the Punisher sets it up so Howard Saint takes out a couple members of his family to kind of play like a sick game with him. Frank Castle does this, and then eventually what's left over, Frank Castle then goes and takes out very tactically. And so I think the Punisher is just done so perfectly in this movie. And it doesn't stop there. All the other characters in this movie that play supporting roles are excellent. I like all the different little misfit members that stay with Frank Castle while he's, working to carry out his plan. I think they all have different unique personalities, and they work as kind of being Frank's new family and friends. So I thought that was actually a good addition to this movie. And then the villains in this movie are definitely villainous. There's no redeeming qualities about them. You get disgusted with them, and you want the Punisher to punish them at the end of this movie. And so it does a good job making these just villains you despise. So Howard Saint, played by John Travolta, actually I think does a good job in this role here, where he is the mob boss and he has all this power with all this money and all his henchmen to carry out all his mob dealings, and that's where his power really comes from. And you are definitely rooting against him and for the Punisher to win at the end of the day. And then all of the people that surround Howard Saint, like Quentin as his right-hand man, great job in this movie. And then all the other characters are just so villainous too. You really don't like them, like Howard Saint's wife, his kid. I mean, they're just so despisable that you want the Punisher to take all of them out by the end of this movie. So all the characters in this movie just do a great job getting you invested into this story. Now to get into some more good of the movie. Now, this movie is absolutely so well rounded in so many ways, just a lot of great components. For example, the script here is awesome, has a good introduction, interesting action sequences throughout, just kind of sprinkled in there, and it's all building up to a awesome climactic action scene at the end. And what's great about these action scenes, it's all practical effect work, so it's very believable and it's just so raw. And there's a lot of good lines of dialogue in this movie and a lot of memorable moments and lines said in the movie as well. For example, when the witch doctor turns to Frank and says, "Go with God," and then the Punisher turns back and says, "God's gonna sit this one out." It is just so haunting, and you just feel the emotion come across in that line. And then there's a lot of different other memorable lines throughout this movie. Even Howard Saint has his moments with saying some little witty, clever lines like, "Oh, she caught a train," or "He's all tied up." And so some very villainous, just subtle lines. And so the lines here are well done at times, very snappy, and it just works for that entire movie. And the movie is well paced. Like I said, there's good action sprinkled throughout the entire movie. An awesome sequence is like when the Russian shows up and they're just throwing down the Russian villain and the Punisher. And that is such a very intense moment. And so this movie does a good job of kind of switching things up. It'll have build up moments and then very emotional, somber moments, and then big action packed moments and really intense, serious moments. And so it's just spaced very well throughout the entire movie, so you're never bored. You always are interested on what's going on screen and how this is going to end up by the end of the movie. And then also what really makes this movie so memorable is the music. Both the score and the soundtrack they use for this movie is just absolutely memorable. You're going to remember that Punisher theme you hear for the longest time afterwards. I've never forgotten that Punisher theme, and it just makes you really immersed into the movie. So everything this movie provides, it's just building a atmosphere here that really just sucks you into the story. So just all around a well done movie.
Wrote that for you. I won't say it at your funeral.
Now to get into the bad of the movie. So there isn't any serious major negative here at all. Really anything that takes away from the movie, but just a couple things to point out. So the villain here, Howard Saint, even though I think he does a good job in this movie for what he is, it is recognizable that he's not a big, bad, strong Punisher villain where you would believe if Punisher went toe to toe with Howard Saint, is there going to be any really competition involved with that? No, of course, Punisher's going to take him out right away. But once again, when you realize, no, the power comes from his money and his mob influence, to me, it makes sense for this story. Also, to go on that this movie is not absolutely comic accurate. But to me, that is okay. They changed some things up here, like how Frank Castle's family is executed. That's completely different than the comics. And it does change up some characters too that are mentioned in the comics. But what's nice is I think this movie does it perfectly for what a superhero adaptation should do. It takes what it can from the comics, reworks it in the way it needs to make it a solid, entertaining film first, because the film comes before. Most important thing, we got to make a good movie first. But where they're able to sprinkle in some comic references and Easter eggs and put in a character like the Russian to show up, then it's really enjoyable and we still get that fan service moment we need. But they don't overdo it and they don't let it take away from having a good solid script. So those are some things just to note, that it isn't fully comic accurate, but first, a good movie is the most important thing. So to me, that is not a very big negative.
You're not gonna believe this.
Now to get in my recommendation of this movie. Now, should you go back and see this one if you have not yet? Absolutely, of course, it is a must-see for any comic book fan, any superhero fan, anybody that likes action-packed movies. You have to see this one. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my fourth favorite superhero movie of all time, and that is such high praise for a movie like this. I'm telling you, this movie is so well done. Everything works in this movie. There's no major flaw here. All the components are there, and it's a very memorable movie that still holds up to this day. And all the practical effect and stunt work they did still holds up to this day, and it is just such a great experience. Now, it is a very somber experience at time. It is a very dark experience, and there are some harsh scenes in this movie where if you're a little squeamish, you might have to look away for a little bit. But I think the impact of the overall story is just so entertaining in the sense that it's a well done movie, especially if you're a comic book or superhero fan. Must see, absolutely must see. Now, if those genres don't work for you, then of course, stay away from this one. But I'm telling you, I think most people should give this one an absolute chance. It is awesome. Now to get into the Lionsgate 4K Steelbook unboxing. Now look at this. Wow, the Punisher skull symbol right on the front. Just so well done. Lionsgate has been doing an absolute amazing job with these Steelbook releases. And what's nice is you got the clear slip cover on the front with some artwork, so you can kind of see it right there. All perfect, and it still shows the skull symbol with the slip cover on the front. I like how they add that extra protection with it. Now to kind of take a look at the spine, kind of simple spine there, and then take a look at the back. Now you can take a look at the special features there. Now, to me, these were the same special features that were on the Blu-ray disc I already had, so nothing new there. But if you haven't seen the special features before, they are actually pretty good. Even though they're older ones, you can see some of the stunt work they did. I thought that was really interesting. Now, the 4K on here is absolutely amazing. It shines through very nicely, and the big scenes I noticed the 4K quality was those sunset sequences at the beginning of the movie when they're on the beach. Ooh, just some amazing picture quality there. And once you see the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I think the 4K was a much needed upgrade for this movie. And then the Dolby Atmos soundtrack with those amazing just musical elements to this movie with the score and amazing soundtrack they have. Dolby Atmos just came through perfectly on the audio of it. Now let's take a look at this movie without the slipcover on it. Let's take it out of that case. And wow, this is a real treat, I can already tell. So the front cover here, ooh, that is so nice. I like how they do the Punisher skull with the fire, and it looks very action-packed. And if you really look at it, there's a lot of details there. Like you got the car flipping over with the car chase moment right there. Wow, really, really well done. Captures the Punisher perfectly. Take a look at the spine. Simple spine, but goes along with the front cover. And then, ooh, now this is the perfect part right here. You got the Punisher right there on the back. And let me just say, the Punisher costume they used in this movie was absolutely fantastic. I think it's the best Punisher costume we ever have seen, with the trench coat and the Punisher shirt that the kid gives him. I mean, it's just so well done. Just all perfectly captures the movie. Now let's take a look at the inside of the Steelbook. See if there's some more artwork here. Now I did take out the disc, which I will show off, but let's look at just kind of the inside first. So you got more of the skull artwork right there, with actually that is the Punisher himself. You can tell with the trench coat right there and his weapons for the disc right there. And that's actually kind of creative. That's actually where you put the disc there, and so it looks like two shots coming out of it. So really interesting, kind of a nice little nifty way to do that for the artwork. Now let's take a look at those discs. So we got the 4K here. Nice, I like it. I like it. I don't think it's absolutely amazing, but it's pretty good, and it goes perfectly with the artwork on the inside. So you know what? Well done, Lionsgate. Well done with that. Now let's see if the Blu-ray is any different. No, it's pretty much the same thing, right? Just the Blu-ray. So same artwork design there, but it is a nice design and it's way better than being plain like a lot of movies do. So overall, just a fantastic steelbook, well done Lionsgate once again. Now this is a serious contender for the Meggies this year. This might win best in steelbook. Who knows? There's still a long way to go this year. Probably a lot of other steelbooks to come out, but I can see this one at least being nominated on my annual physical media award show. I mean, it's just so well done. What's going to beat this? Oh, it's going to be a great year for physical media. So this is the unboxing of the 4K Steelbook Lionsgate edition.
Call me the Punisher.
Now we're going to get into the bonus of showing off my entire Punisher collection. But quick side note before we get into that, there is no extended cut on this 4K Lionsgate release. And so I think the extended cut is important to see if you can still get it out there. There's a couple crucial scenes in that movie, but unfortunately was not released on this one. But yeah, definitely make sure you check that out. Now let's get into that collection. So first we're going to start with the Punisher plush. Yes, this is an awesome one to have in the collection. You got to have a Punisher plush out there. And then we're going to get into all my pops, and I have quite a bit of Punisher pops here. So starting with my favorite, we got the chase of Punisher from the Daredevil series, and I have quite a few chase pops, but this was such a crucial one to get. I just needed to have it, especially if you can see he has the Daredevil mask he is holding. That's what makes the Chase Edition different, is having that Daredevil mask. I think that is just so cool. Captures that season perfectly of Daredevil. So such a awesome pop to have. Definitely my favorite Punisher pop. Now, since I have the Chase version, I do have the regular version of that one. This one is cool. He has his weapon in it, but no Daredevil mask. And I think the Daredevil mask one is just so awesome in every single way. Now we also have Punisher Nemesis. Punisher Nemesis kind of got a green color to it. Had to get it because it is a Punisher pop, but not one of my absolute favorites. Next we have Punisher War Machine. Now this one was so cool. I really actually like this one. Kind of seeing, hey, if Punisher and War Machine were combined, what would it look like? Well, we have this pop to show it. And this was actually a really cool one. PX Preview exclusive one to have. And then I have Punisher from the Gamerverse Contest of Champions. And this one was a Walgreen exclusive. So I do like having this one exclusive. And of course, it is the Punisher. Now, this is one of my favorite ones as well. The classic costume. To me, the Punisher classic costume is my absolute favorite costume for the Punisher. And it's a nice exclusive pop here. So just so amazing. And then we have Venomized Punisher. So what would Punisher look like if the symbiote suit went on him? And that's kind of cool. I don't collect a lot of the Venomized ones, but for the Punisher, you gotta have it for the collection. I believe I have every Punisher pop I at least know of that's out there. If there's one I'm missing, definitely let me know, because I should have all of them. Then we have the Punisher Thunderbolts one, the Walgreen exclusive. Like the red skull on here, so it's awesome to have this one as well. And so those are all the Punisher pops, but let's get into some more other kind of Punisher pop stuff. So this one is just a cutout from one of the pop boxes that came with a shirt. And so I cut this one out so I could have that, and it stands up and it just looks so cool. So it's nice to have that one as well. And then I have a little pop Punisher keychain. So this is the same one as the Punisher Pop Classic one that I have, but just in little form for a keychain, bobblehead keychain. Yeah, this one's cool to have. So we also have now another little Punisher. Very, very little one. I actually don't remember where I got this one from. So yeah, if anybody knows where this one came from, definitely let me know. But I have it. I have it in my Punisher collection. I have a whole like Punisher shrine where all this stuff I just grabbed from in the back. And then we also have some Punisher artwork. Now I have two Punisher artworks here. I'll show you just a small one that was made uh, by an artist at a Comic-Con that I really did want to get. Just simple, but you got Punisher all sad. And that was kind of what this artist did, kind of made these characters in a sad way. But you gotta have it because it's the Punisher. It came in a nice little frame like this, so I enjoyed that one. And then let me be right back with my really most valuable Punisher artwork piece. So now my most valuable Punisher collection piece is this artwork piece right here. It's on the wall, so I couldn't pull it off. But let's take a look at it, and I'll bring the screen a little bit more closer for you all so you can see it. But wow, look at this. This is just absolutely awesome. And I believe there wasn't many of these made. I think the seller told me this print of it was maybe like 10 or 15 of them. But it's just so awesome. You got the Punisher fighting off ninjas here. And it is just so awesomely well done. Really, really like that one. Sorry if there's a little glare to it, but really nice art piece right there. And they even have a art piece like this with a Wolverine fighting off ninjas. Didn't get that one. Also, I do have a couple Punisher comics I wanted to show off that I almost forgot about. I have the second and third appearance of the Punisher, so I wanted to show off those comics real quick. Awesome to have those in the collection. Definitely want to get a first appearance though.
Oh! Shouldn't play with knives.
So that will do it for today's mega review of the Punisher and also the unboxing of the 4K Steelbook and my entire Punisher collection. Let me know in the comments below. Did you like seeing a collection video where I showed off some pops and other collectibles? Would you like to see more of that? Give me some suggestions down below. Also, what do you think of the Punisher movie? Is it one of your favorite superhero movies of all time, like it is for me? Let's have those discussions down below. Also, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, subscribe right now. We talk all things movies on this channel, and I'm going to get you more movie reviews, movie rankings, movie unboxing, movie news, and collection videos. And I don't want you to miss out on any of that movie entertainment value. So subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell because I post often. Also, like the video. And this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.